Brown little. I'm looking at you. I'm trying to get out of here. I'm trying to get out of this little round circle. This is crazy. Can you hear me, George? Georgie, can you hear me? George, can you see me? I don't know. This is very, very strange. I don't know what happened. I'm trying to get myself out of this little weirdness. Let me see. There's some new stuff going on, and I'm stuck. I'm stuck in this thing. I don't know what's going on, man. You can barely hear me. Oh Lord, help us. I'm back to YouTube. Oh my God, hold on. I think you're full of shit. You're just full of shit. Uh, you can barely see me. I can barely see you too, George. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, puff puffs and frogs, welcome. It is September the 6th, 2024. I'm going to try to get out of this little weirdness here. Hold on a minute. No one's fallen for that tonight. Okay, sorry. Y'all, I really have missed you. The ones that haven't been able to make a live stream. Big Sis is up in the house. Royal Linus. Melanie's up in the house. What's up, Melanie? Y'all, so I want to talk about the truth of really what happened in the Philippines now that I'm safe. I'm back in the USSA. Yeah, or is it the USSR? But I'm back. I'm back in the United States. So I want to start by saying that trip. Well, I don't. Yeah, should I tell the truth about what really happened in the Philippines? They say they have these sayings that you shouldn't always tell everything that happens somewhere. But I think I'm going to tell. I think that I'm going to tell what happened. And, I hope that I really don't hurt anyone's feelings anywhere around the world because, that's not me. I don't like to hurt people's feelings. And, yeah, well, so let's start off by saying that, well, the Philippines is definitely different than the United States. Definitely different. I well, let's start off with Delta Airlines. Yeah, Delta Airlines. Yeah, well, they were something. So we were on the the longest leg of the trip, 12 hours, y'all. 12 hours on a plane. I was snoring. The food was fabulous. The food was absolutely fabulous. But so we make the whole trip. We're left Seoul, South Korea on time. We're flying in. We're almost to Cebu, Philippines, and I was ecstatic. I knew that I was going to see 10. I was happy. And we just get to the runway. We're coming down. No shit. We're coming down, and we almost are ready to hit the runway. And that Airbus shoots straight back up, and my heart sinks. Hey, stepping in it, and my heart sinks. And I thought, oh my God. The first thing that came to my mind, honestly, was that the landing gear was no good. And my heart sank. And the pilot came on and said, due to the weather conditions, we are going to have to circle. And we stayed up in the air for, I'd say, 30 minutes or a little longer. And when he went to land the plane, really cool feature if you haven't been on a plane in the last few years like me, especially international flight, they have a under the plane camera and in front of you camera. So I could see that we were not lined up on the landing strip, and we went to go in, and the plane's off centered, and you could tell that we were starting to fishtail, and my heart was sinking and racing, and I was like, please Lord, I'm less than 10 minutes away from seeing Skipping 10. and he landed it. He stopped it. The problem there in the Philippines is that Cebu, that airport runway is very short for those Airbuses. So it's one of those situations that if they don't get it right, you're probably going to topple over into the ocean. Teresita, Teresita. So that was the start of the trip. And the meeting of 10 was absolutely fabulous. I didn't realize after a year of us talking how small she really was until I stood next to her. And oh my gosh, she's just, I okay, let me not get all giddy and blah 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 blah, as Tim says, but she's a doll, and so we had some things that really the prepping community and the things that I've learned over the years about prepping really came into play. So the next day was a special day for me and Tim. And yes, y'all, I did ask Tim to marry me. And it's not going to be a long engagement. It's going to be a short engagement because I hate us being apart from each other. Um, I really hate it. And so we want to be together. We're going to be in the Philippines sometimes, in the United States sometimes. We're going to keep my little house here in Colorado. She's going to keep her property in the Philippines, and we're going to be together and do what we want. So that's that's like I don't even know what to say other than she captured my heart even more in person. So the next day was the big day. We were going to a special place for the proposal, and we had to drive quite a ways out of Cebu up the mountain, and the mountain was very curvy. As we got toward the top, the taxi stopped and it cut out, and I started immediately looking to the left, the right, and the back of the taxi, and I thought, "Oh my God, we're going to get robbed." We were up on the mountain, and two guys were walking up behind the cab, and then another guy in another taxi stopped in front of us. So I really thought it was the great setup. I thought, "This is it. We're probably going to get robbed." And I told Tin, I said, "I'm getting out of the car. I want to see if this really is a serious situation, or is the car really broke down, right?" And thank you, Royal Linus. Thank you, big sis. I appreciate that. So I got out, and lo and behold, the hose was blowing on the taxi. So he was losing, I thought, antifreeze, but come to find out in the Philippines, 100-degree temperature pretty much most of the year, with a lot of rain and the humidity off the charts. They don't use antifreeze there. They do not use antifreeze. So they have a lot of overheating problems, which I found interesting because you think with the as hot as it is that they would actually use antifreeze, but they don't. The other thing that came into the prepping mindset of me is that almost on a daily basis, the water and electric at Tins and around the Philippines gets turned off. And usually it's at the hottest time of the day. It was usually about 10 in the morning, and Tin would say, "Kim, go hurry, go take a shower because I have a feeling it's going to get turned off." And almost every single day, I think there was one day that the electric and the water stayed on all day and all night. You know, I think when it comes down to this new series I've been doing, Prepping in the Real World, it's really interesting to me that when you go out in the big world, the things that happen are the things that we've talked about for the last 4 years on this channel. And I think that when you really have to utilize those skills and put those things in perspective. I mean, I've picked up great knowledge from pinball, from Pete, from the roaming prepper, some of my dear friends here on YouTube that are preppers. And I listen to Pete because Pete's always out and about. And some of the things he said really hit home. And I really am glad that I have been involved in this prepping community on YouTube because it has made me situationally aware. And I think that's a big, huge thing when you're out in the world is the things that are happening around you can lead to terrible incidents. I personally had one situation where I was in the ocean and I was swimming with Tim's cousin Vincent. Great guy, great guy. I just love him to death. He's a younger guy, nice guy. And he said, "Kim, come on, let's go swimming." Well, I'd already been swimming, but I said, "Okay, let's go." We weren't even in the water 5 minutes, and first aid came into play because he screamed my name and he screamed, "Oh shit," and "fuck." And I was like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" And he had actually stepped on a sea urchin and the needles were sticking out of not one foot, but both feet. So that was another situation that I was like, here we go again. Prepping, learning some first aid, learning some basic water knowledge came into play again. So we got him out of the water. He actually had to get carried to shore. He couldn't walk. But he is okay. We couldn't get all the needles out, but I did pull out some needles about yay big, probably 2 to 3 inches big. The other thing that happened to me personally is that I'm very blessed to be sitting here right now because I had a terrible accident at the pool. And I want to give a big shout out to Emma and to some 77-year-old lady that was sitting there. The steps were slippery and my knee gave out. And thank God it was a good knee. And I went down and Emma grabbed me. Emma, big, huge prepper hugs. You will always be my lifesaver now. She's another YouTuber. I met her on Skipping Tins and she came over and spent the day with us swimming. And when I went down, I landed on top of a 77-year-old lady who also grabbed me. And if she wouldn't have been there, it would have been a very bad situation. Honestly, I probably would have ended up in the hospital or medevaced because there was a boulder. And because the lady was there, I didn't hit the boulder. So I think the big, big question that everybody wants to know is, well, how do I really feel about the Philippines? I love it. I love the Philippines. I love the Philippine people. I love the ways of the Philippines. They got their priorities right. And I think the big thing that the Philippines showed me is that the priorities in the Philippines, it isn't how much you have or um, how much money you have or if you got the new pair of Nikes or the new car. It's spirituality, Christianity, the most of them are Catholic. And second of all, it's family. I think that they really have it right. They really have it right, folks. And I think we can learn so much from their culture. I absolutely fell in love with the Philippines. Will I be going back to the Philippines? Most definitely. I most definitely will be going back to the Philippines. Soon, Trooper will be getting a health certificate. So when I travel to the Philippines, Trooper will be traveling with me. And our first plan is Tin will be coming here for about 90 days. And then after that, we will be traveling back and forth. 2025 is going to be an absolutely fantastic year, God willing. Um, the food was fabulous. I know some people got a little like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't eat that meat from the wet food market. Let me tell you something, folks. What do you think happens in the processing plants in the United States and around the world? Hi, Cherie. What's going on? No, no, Sherry, not at first. We're doing a tourist visa. Then after that, we will be doing a fiance visa. Um, we'll probably end up getting married in the Philippines. We our plans right now are personal, but I have things I have to be here in the United States for. But either way, we're going to stay in the United States and go in the Philippines. We want the best of both worlds, and that's to me, it's the best of both worlds. I love the Philippines. I love the culture. I love the ocean. As you all know, I'm a water nut, and uh, I'm truly blessed that everything is happening the way it is. Oh, Cherie, the food is, I was talking about the wet food market. And yeah, at first I was like, oh gosh, gross, that's nasty. There is flies on the meat, and the meat is right out there, right in front of you. And some of it's being butchered right there in front of you. But every single thing I ate was probably the best tasting food I've tasted in years. And I believe, honestly, that that's probably from the lack of the chemicals, the GMOs, and all those things that they put in our food here in the States. So the food was fabulous. On Tin's property there at our house, there's a lemon tree, there's moringa, there's sweet potatoes, which I hope she forgives me, but I was rebuilding the back gate, making it a little more secure. And I pulled out a whole lot of sweet potatoes. And she goes, "Do you know what you just pulled?" And I said, "It looked like a weed." She goes, "Those were sweet potatoes." Oops. But she also has a papaya tree. And The interesting thing also in the Philippines to me is that we always talk in the prepping channels about what happens when you have no electricity, when it comes to food and water. And I'll tell you what, go live in the Philippines or what is considered a third world country for a while, be it if it's a week, vacation, a month, however long, you will learn a lot. Um, the electricity is very old school. The electricity is not three pronged, so there's no grounding. I actually blew out one of my electronics. So that was interesting to me too. That that was scary to me. I thought of all the kinds of bacteria. Yeah, and I can understand that, Sherry. I think the important thing is when you're going to the wet food markets like that is to get there first thing in the morning. Because by getting there first thing in the morning, that meat is fresh and it's cool and it's just been butchered or it's being butchered in front of you. Um, but most people in the Philippines, in the middle class and poor, which there's not a lot of middle class, they have no refrigeration. So I think that that was another eye-opening thing. And I was worried at first, I told Tien, I'm not sure if my gut can handle it. I brought Tums, I bought anti-diarrhea, I brought Pepto, I brought anti-itch, I brought all kinds of OTCs with me just in case that my stomach would go doing the rumbles. But I did not get sick at all. Um, Everything was so fresh, from the meat to the seafood to the vegetables. One thing that Tin did tell me, and she steered me away from it, was eating oysters on the half shell. When we were at our engagement party, which was absolutely lovely, it was the first time I got to dance with Tin, and it is on my channel and her channel. It was just my heart. Um, but they served us oysters on the half shell, and she's like, "Kim, don't eat them." And so I listened to her, and so I did not eat them. But the food was out of this world. Um, I think if a person, a few people told me, "Hey, stay over there because of all the things that are happening in the United States." I think that honestly, if a person can have a decent income, and I understand why a lot of retirees go there, is because of how much less expensive it is to live in the Philippines or any other country like that, similar Jamaica, Mexico, wherever, because it's a lot less expensive. There she is. Hi, babe. Um, so I really enjoyed my trip. The truth of me going to the Philippines is that I not only fell in love more deeply with Tim, but I fell in love with the culture. I'm trying to every night when she has her live stream expand my vocabulary so that we can understand each other better. I think that's probably one of the biggest things is my vocabulary. She doesn't understand some words and some words they use differently than we use them. So I think that that's a huge thing is communication. And hello, Huga Huga. Um, you were so cute. We had the time of our lives. We really did. Um, I couldn't have asked for a better trip, except that I should have stayed a month instead of 2 weeks. I should have stayed a month. I cried, she cried, we cried together. We lifted each other up, and I really didn't wanna leave. I really did not wanna leave. It was that wonderful. Um, I've never in my whole life felt so accepted by any family as I did her family and as I do today her family. Her family is my family now, and I'm thankful for that. And the kids, I don't know how many of you remember this, but I think it was about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I had a dream of being surrounded by children. And I believe that dream had a lot to do with the Philippines. I left the day of the barbecue and I went over and I started swimming with the kids. And the next thing I had all the kids on my back. Literally, I had, I think, what, 9 kids, 10, maybe 10, all the kids. And there's some beautiful, wonderful pictures of that. It was fabulous. Devil Dog, we're going to do time here in the United States and time in the Philippines. That's where we're at right now. Our goal is for 2025, January or February, I'll be flying back to the Philippines, and hopefully Tin will be flying back home with me to our home here in Colorado. And then how long we'll stay in Colorado or how long we'll stay in the Philippines is just, I don't know. You know, we're not going to get rid of either property. No, we're going to stay. Actually, I am working on purchasing the house I'm in right now because an elder man owns this house, and this house has sat empty for 2 years. I got a little misinformation about that. They said it only had been empty for 6 months, but then the neighbors started talking. And the neighbors, I have a Mrs. Mertz here actually. So they started talking and they told me. And one of them personally knows the owner. And so, because I've been dealing with the realtor. So I'm hoping that we'll purchase this house and we'll stay in both. If not, maybe we'll find a different house to purchase. Things are looking up, up, up in so many ways. I can't. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Okay, now. I was trying to get rid of the smile. It wasn't working. I've had like this permanent smile like stuck on my face. Wait, I guess it shows, eh? I'm really happy to see everyone. I hope that you'll check out some of the live streams from the Philippines. I have so much footage of the Philippines is that there is a short or a video coming out every single day till the end of October. Me and Tin, because we're both YouTubers, we had a lot of personal off the air time, but we had a lot of fun footage time in the pools. We went and worked out together. I ate some food that I had no idea what it was, but I tried it and it was fabulous. And I think my lovely fiance is going to come up tonight and sing a song for all of us. She has a fabulous voice. And I think the really cool thing about me and Tin is that we're like yin and yang. We both like to have fun. She is the first person that I've ever been with, the first lady I've ever been with that really enjoys the water and really just grasp life on a daily basis in love, light, and hope. And things happen for a reason. And I'm very thankful she's in my life. And I'm very thankful that she said yes. So I hope that y'all keep coming back. I'm going to bring back, there's some prepping shorts coming out. I was really amazed at how they prep water there. We've talked about rugged ways of prepping water, and the Philippines definitely takes that to an extreme. That's one thing that I'm concerned with Tin being there for the next several months and me being here is about securing water on the property in a little better way. Um, I set up the perimeter as much as I could. You might have seen the video. Me and her brother-in-law, we added layers of brick on her back fence, and then also did it Jamaican style and added glass bottles at the top, crushed glass, because me and Tin both know that for sure somebody was climbing over the wall. We're not sure which wall, but they were definitely coming onto her property. And her being there by herself, I want to make sure that she's as safe as possible. I definitely want to make sure of that. So we worked hard on the perimeter, and we do have some closed caption TV cameras that me and her have to set up that I brought here from the States that I used to use at the fairground. I mean, at the campgrounds. So I brought a couple of those, and so we're going to hook those up. And I think those are the main things that when you're in like any country is to definitely be aware of your surroundings, but most of all is to set up your perimeter the best you possibly can with the things that you have. And we definitely recycled and repurposed. I did to fix her back gate stronger and stronger. And I'll tell you what, bamboo is really strong, y'all. It's a really strong wood. So I put a piece of bamboo going across this way, and there's another one going here, and use galvanized metal and wire that I found around the property to just strap it up tie it up as tight as I possibly could. So I hope that that helps her a lot in keeping people away from and out of the property. I enjoyed myself, and I wish my trip wouldn't have been 2 weeks. I wish it would have been about 2 years. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. The thing is, Huga, is if you get bamboo growing on your property, like when I was managing the campground there in Florida, is that bamboo spreads out so quickly and so thick that it is really a pain in the ass, honestly. It's really a pain in the ass to get rid of it or to thin it out. Um, she had, they were probably as big around as a softball. So that was pretty cool that she already had those up underneath the hut. And so that's what I used to do that back gate. And I didn't even know it at the time that she was live streaming me on the best one, which is her second channel. Tin, would you drop your channels, babe? So that people can see, you can see her footage, you can see my footage, and we just had a ball. The money exchange. So stepping in it, that's very interesting. And I think honestly, that's a great question because I think that's where the United States is headed. So the money exchange changes every single day. Before I left the United States, I was in Seattle. I was in Seattle. Was it Seattle? I think it was, I don't know. I was in a lot of places. So I went to the money exchange there. It was Seattle because that airport. No, it was Seoul, South Korea. Excuse me. So I changed my money, my first batch of money at Seoul, South Korea. So it was approximately 52.47 pesos to the dollar. And but it fluctuated daily. So it was very confusing to me to know how much money I was really getting. I cashed in 400 dollars when I started the trip, and I got 17,000 pesos. 17,000 pesos. And one thing I can say though is that when you're spending pesos, the money, like 1,000 equals like 20, $35, right? 1,000 pesos goes a long freaking way, a long way. Riding a trike, which is a motorcycle with a sidecar, you've seen a lot of video footage of that. That approximately cost us 35 pesos for a 15, 20-minute drive ride into town from her barangay. So from her neighborhood into Ormic cost us 35 pesos, except when I had all my luggage. But the food was way less expensive. Tin had a meltdown a few times because I did buy us some very nice dinners. You know, we had calamari. We had this wonderful cream of mushroom soup, and I surprised her at the resort one night and brought a piece of blueberry cheesecake to her that was delicious. I really enjoyed the stores, and that's one thing I can say about the Philippines is that the spirit of entrepreneurship dwells in the people of the Philippines. Uh, Everybody has their own business. Her son he deals in meat, fish, pork, and chicken, and so he buys and resells in his barangay. And so I seen the spirit of entrepreneurship like it used to be in the United States, which to me was amazing. I thought, I've always been an entrepreneur. I think that you make more money, you have more freedom, and you live life to its fullest when you're an entrepreneur. And the spirit of entrepreneurship is really deep there in the Philippines. It really is deep. Uh, in front of a lot of people's homes, there'll be a haircutting room. They charge 50 pesos for a haircut. In front of other people, they maybe they have eggs or maybe whatever they may have, they sell it in their own little store in front of their property, which is really cool. And you're talking about a row in the barangay on both sides of the street. And so they'll have like little huts set up. The vegetable stands, people have different fruits or vegetables growing on their property. So they'll have that right in front of their house, which is really cool. I must be high. I've been watching for 20 minutes and just realized you're not Art Art Bell. Well, welcome to the live. Oh wow. Hello. I don't know who you are, but that's funny as shit. I would say that's JREZ17. I'd say that is my one and only friend, Josh Roberts. That's uh, uh, Red Eye Jedi. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for stopping by. You at least smash the thumbs on your way out to find Art Bell, whoever that is. Oh, that's great. Anybody else have a question? That was an interesting question, stepping in it. I mean, the money thing, I think that that's the way the United States is headed, though. I think that honestly, when the American dollar falls, I think that we will see that fluctuation. Right now, the United States, we're feeling it in a way of hyperinflation and superinflation and shrinkflation. I think someday, maybe not in our lifetime, I hope not, that we will see where the American dollar fluctuates on a daily basis and we realize that it's not worth a hell of a whole lot. You should have gotten no, it changes daily, George, and then they gotta charge their fee. You can look it up on a daily fricking basis. You can look it up at 9 in the morning, you can look it up at noon, and you can look it up at 6 o'clock. It's all different. Also gotta realize, Georgie, that you're going to an exchange. So that exchange is gonna make money off of it, and that exchange is not gonna probably give you the top dollar of what the market is. So, it's, um and today it's 22,000. So, it is what it is, George. And what are you going to do? Argue and say, "Give me my hundreds back"? And I will say this: I budgeted a certain amount for the trip. I stayed within that budget until the very last day, and I did not hold back on doing things or eating or buying coffee. For example, I'll tell you this. For example, I still am smoking. Okay, a pack of cigarettes is $2.50. They're American money. Yeah, yeah, and George, it'll tomorrow morning, check it out again and see where it's at. But you also got to take away the exchange fee and where you're exchanging at. One thing that I got a little over the top about was exchanging my money because I got hacked right before I left the United States on all four of my cards. They must have been handing around my name out there on the dark web, and all four of them got hacked. So two of them I have a freeze on them now, and the other two I had to get new. So I haven't been hacked in 20 some years. I truly believe it was from the cell of the cabin, and somebody did a little zappity doodah. I did go get a new wallet that protects your credit cards. But the thing is you still, when you're pulling out your credit card and it's going from you to paying for something, that transaction, it's not protected. I've been talking to my nephew. I think that where we're headed is that we will not be able to use credit cards because by pulling that credit card out in public anywhere or that debit card, someone can hit it. So yeah, yeah, that was about Social Security, but that happened, George, that happened before you warned me. You were talking about the Social Security thing. I did look into that, and that hack with the Social Security is pretty serious, pretty serious. Most of us have been hacked on the Social Security thing. Brenda, you made it, you made it, you made it. Nice to see you. I'm glad that everybody stopped in tonight. I'm really excited to see everyone. The channel, I have some great prepping trips coming up. Um, my new series, which is prepping in the real world, is really where I'm at in prepping now. So one of my next trips is to South Dakota, and then after that, this fall and winter, I will be doing some winter camping up in the Rocky Mountains in the freezing snow. I'm gonna do some snowshoeing, and I'm gonna go tubing if my old knee can handle it. West Texas, Danielle's up in the house. I am glad to see the OTWP mag. I want to say big, huge prepper hugs to everybody. We are 37 minutes into it. Lately I've only been going like 15, 20 minutes. Live stream gotta go. Bye. I have a lot going on in my life right now, a lot of good things, positive things, and I hope all of you do. I'm going to take a 5-minute intermission and play a song, and then I will be back. And I'm hoping that my fiance, Miss Skippington, will come up and sing one song and take us out. She has a beautiful, lovely voice. Please, if you're a mod, drop your links, drop your channel. And, this is all about community. And I want to say to each and every one of you is that the things that we've been learning on YouTube really come into play when we're traveling, when we're being situationally aware of our surroundings and what's going on. And I learned a lot of things in the Philippines in real world prepping. And it was a fabulous trip. I look forward to going back to the Philippines. And most of all, I look forward to giving Skipping 10 a huge hug when I see her again. Um, we're going to take things day by day. And The plan is either for my birthday or for Valentine's, I will be back in the Philippines with Trooper. Trooper will be going with because the trip will be about a month long. So, can you drink the water? No, no. Skippington doesn't even drink the water. Um, Skippington has she gets purified water. She does not drink the water at all. So that's one thing. Um, oh, okay. In vertical StreamYard, people can't come up anymore. Okay, go figure. All right, well, we'll do it another night, babe. She just messaged me. We'll do it another night. I didn't know there's. I haven't been doing live streams this way. I've been doing them on my phone. So, but I think water purification is huge, and I think with stepping in, I think with her being and anybody in the Philippines, I think the most crucial thing that anyone in the Philippines can learn is how to take that ocean water and turn it into drinking water. Me and her were talking about when the typhoon happened. And when the Typhoon Yolanda happened, which is I think was about 10 years ago, Skip and Tin can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was about 10 years ago, maybe a little longer. She was telling me that the electric was down for 8 months. So, we talk about it, but when you live through it, I think it's a huge different thing. And I think that it's really important. Brenda, you're my you're my lost sister. But I think that when you look at those things, like, no electricity for 8 months, can you all imagine? And I'm sure that the water was contaminated huge. I was, we both had our own thing going on the day that we left each other. There was a typhoon coming into the Philippines. Skippington had to go on a fast track boat, which you can see some of the videos on here on the channel. And so that fast track boat is a 3.5, 4 hour trip in the ocean. Well, the typhoon's coming in. She's sending me footage, and the waves are just huge. So I called her because I was on a layover. And then on my next flight, it was the plane ride from hell. It was really, the turbulence was so bad. I would say 90% of that trip, we had to stay seated and in our seatbelts. I mean, it was jerking us around big time. And we're in that big Airbus. And the worst thing that can happen when you're on an air flight is when you hear pretty much 70, 80% of the people on the flight scream. You know that you just want to go to sleep or put your earplugs in or something so that you don't have to hear them. Um, that got to me because I pray and I stay focused. And when you hear that many people scream, you're like, oh shit, shut up. Pray, do something, but don't be screaming like that because there's kids on there and it gets the kids scared. And have faith when you're flying like that and something bad happens. Teresita's up in the house. Teresita, I appreciate you so much. I love you. Stepping in it, I love you. It was really nice talking to you the other day. Brenda, you probably have known me forever. Georgie, everybody, if you missed the short that I put out for George, George has a future wife waiting in the Philippines. I found her. She's a beauty. She's a sweetheart. And George, I think you should go. You may never want to come back, brother. You may never want to come back. She's actually a sweet lady. And George, I have to pick on you no matter where I'm at or what I'm doing. Me and you will be picking on each other until we're no longer on YouTube. Teresita, I want to say that, that I appreciate you so much. You have shown me so much support, and you are a very caring person. And I love you to death. I just want you to know that. And a big shout out, even though she's not here, to Emma. She's my lifesaver. Desert to rainforest. I'll tell you what, stepping in it. I love the tropical weather. I always have, and I truly freaking. When you wake up and you can walk 5 minutes and go to the ocean, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. DD, what's up? What's up, DD? All right, now I'm taking that break because I'm just la la la, and I could. KJ, I'm going to get even with you. You know it. You know what? George, George. I will have a live stream where your ass can come up here and try to get even with me. Let's go at it. Chingasos, brother. Let's fight. Yeah. Typhoons are scary, Brenda. They are. I think that honestly, typhoons cause a lot of people to have post-traumatic stress disorder, trauma, and the things they see and the things they go through, is etched into their spirits and their hearts forever, forever. Because stepping in it, excuse me, stepping in it. I'm not used to seeing you in the chat. Skipping 10 maybe will come up one day. She did do a special with me about Yolanda, but she's been through some things. She's been through some things because of the typhoons. And I can't imagine having children and fighting for your lives. I mean, you're literally fighting for your lives. Georgia, I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out, man. George, you know how it is. I owe you so much, George. You don't even know. After your bullshit, I owe you big time, man. I owe you big time. I owe you so much bullshit. George, you're a capital a-hole, right? You're a capital a-hole. I do believe that we need to have the a-hole club because the election in the United States is coming up. We have great choices to pick between. One a-hole, one evil, or the other evil. Well, it's up to you which one you prefer. But yeah, Country Prepper 19, what's up, man? What's up? How you doing, Country Prepper? Glad to see you. Country Preppers in the house. Thank you, Country Prepper, man. Nice to see you. Nice to see everyone. I want to bring back some morning broadcasts. Right now, I'm still trying to get over this congestion, which is pretty bad. And also, I I'm not into the news because the news is bullshit. Can y'all believe that? What I'm into is I think that putting our boots on the ground, learning the skills, and getting out in the real world and enjoying life, but also using the skills that we've learned here on YouTube as the OTWP mag, as the YouTube prepper mag, around YouTube, is to get out there and use the skills and to really do things and don't get so wrapped up in the negativity that it consumes you. I've always said that here on YouTube is that this channel is about light, love, and hope. And sometimes we drag in some haters. And I want to say to all the haters that have been watching my channel for the past 4 years, I still love you. I still love you. Yeah, man. You've been missing them because I've been going live, Country Prepper, on Philippines time, which it is 10:30 in the morning, Sunday morning. No, Saturday morning in the Philippines right now. So, all right, we're gonna have our music intermission. I'll be right back. Give me five, or don't give me five if you don't want to give me five. If you don't like the music, well, not my issue. What are we gonna listen to? Play that funky music, white boy. I have a special video going out for the next hater. You're gonna get me next month, and it'll be funny. Your mother will laugh at it also. You know what, George? That's really not nice. That's really, really, George. What is your problem? George, why do you always have to go there? I swear, George, what would I do without you, man? Yeah. George Mitchell, the big Georgie George. George, I try and find some 1950s music. George, that's some old music. I mean, my God. Are you trying to say I'm freaking old or what? Jesus, Lord help me. George, George, you always have to give me some bullshit. Here, George. Hey, don't stop believing, George.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. Strangers waiting, waiting, waiting. Up and down the boulevard, their shadows searching through the night. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Street light, people, they're mystifying emotion and hiding somewhere in the night. Don't stop believing. Whoa, whoa, until that feeling. Street light, people. A singer in a smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Whoa. Strangers waiting, waiting, waiting. Up and down the boulevard, their shadows searching through the night. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Street light, people, living this night emotion and hiding somewhere in the night. Don't stop believing. Whoa, hold on to that feeling. Yeah, street light, people. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to your heart. Hold on to your heart. Oh, Sherry. Hold on to your heart. Hold on to your heart. So now I come to you with hold on to get hard. So now I come dance through your heart. Hold on to your
Don't stop believing. Hold on that feeling. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street light, people. Don't stop.
Jamming, we be jamming. Is it Friday night, y'all? I'm so screwed up. Is it Friday night? I think it's Friday night. Is it Friday night? Somebody give me. Is it Friday night? Oh, I think it's Friday night. Is it party night? Oh, I should have did another live stream so that people could come up tonight because I'm glad to be back in the U.S. I am. I am. There's things about the U.S. that we just that's just it's the U.S. right? Everybody wants to come here, but you know what's interesting to me is that I want to go to the Philippines, and people in the Philippines want to come to the U.S. And I don't know. Maybe there's a happy medium. Maybe with me and Tin and our union, that it's going to be like, I can go to the tropics and she can come to the US. And I have like a whole list. Y'all know I make notebooks of stuff, right? So I have like a whole list of places I want to take her, like Disneyland. Who wouldn't want to go to Disneyland when they come to the United States or Disney World? Probably Disneyland, go out to LA and slum it for a little while. Yeah, to all my people out there in LA, I love you. It is Friday night. That's what I thought, George. It's Friday night. Welcome to the Friday Night Live Show. Well, somebody has to do it. It might as well be me. This goes out to Skip and Tin because one of the first songs that I laughed my ass off when I first met her was Cherry Cherry Lady. And she was dancing and she was singing, and I like this song. So I'm going to dance for you. Canning season. Yeah, it is. It is, big sis. It is canning season. I don't need to can. I don't need food. I don't need hygiene items. I don't need none of that right now. I have a 1.5 car garage here at my new house, and it is full. I can't get my car in there. And on top of it, I left the auctioneer. They have been having auctions for 2 months. They're going to be having auctions for about another 2 months for me. So it's like, wow. I mean, I think there's a big difference, Royal Linus, because a huge difference between and hoarding. There's a huge difference between prepping and hoarding. And I think that a lot of people we have in the prepping community, we have become a little on the hoarding side. I think that the most important freaking thing that we can do is learn the skills. And I'm talking basic skills, big sis. I'm talking skills like water. How do you secure water if your water freaking goes down on a daily basis? How do you do that when you're surrounded by the ocean and you have saltwater galore? Those things are going to be important in real world prepping. Solar is going to be really important. I think every single person that watches this today or in the future, go buy you some solar lights. Right now, at night, here in my new home, the kitchen is operated completely by solar light. My living room, my mom gave me this really cute lamp, but I don't have it plugged in. I have a solar light in there, and I have the panels sitting in the window. So at night, it looks like the lamp's on, but it's really not. It's solar. So I think that those couple things are really huge. And as we've always talked about, Royal Linus is learning to forage. That's one thing that I really enjoyed in the Philippines is Skippington is the property, the home that she lives in, the huts that she lives in, because she has, moringa, lemongrass. She has sweet potatoes. Sorry, hon, I didn't mean to squish the sweet potatoes. I'm not Jack, but Jack does a great job of tearing up her plants. She has onion. She has a lemon tree that if you watch some of the videos coming out, you'll see me picking lemons for the family swim day. And the lemons are really small. And babe, what is the tin? What is the fruit that I fell in love with? What is it called? Lachons? Lachons? Delicious. They were absolutely delicious. It's a little tiny, I mean, maybe as big as a half dollar. And when you open it up and peel it, it has a very fresh citrus flavor. I don't know, it's something that is only in the Philippines from what I understand, but it was tasty. Yeah. Well, and Royal Linus, I came home to Colorado and my neighbors were Lasones. There it is. I came home to Colorado and my neighbor came over and said, "I'm glad you made it back." And did you have a good time? And we talked about the trip and stuff. And he brought me a whole bowl of cherry tomatoes and zucchinis. So last night I made sauteed zucchini with cherry tomatoes and pasta. Delicious, healthy dinner. It was yummy. It was really yummy. Lasones. They're really good. And they're the weirdest looking fruit because they're about as big as half a dollar, but they're completely white. And when you peel it open, the fruit inside is white, but the citrus taste that you get from it, and I'm sure it's just packed with vitamin C because of the way it tasted like an orange that was on steroids, that was just packed with the vitamin C and citrus. It was yummy. But it's such a fine line. Yeah. Well, and I think you're right, Brenda. I think the big thing in the United States is the intake of the food that we eat. Like, I'm so sick of canned food. Like, I really don't even want to eat it. It's packed full of sodium and all this crap, and it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Honestly, it's really nasty. Um, Hello, Sion Shine. Hello. It's really nasty, and the food. I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm losing weight is because I've been working out, as y'all know, and swimming. But then the food just doesn't taste good to me. Now, while I was in the Philippines, I was trying things that I'd never seen. I had no idea what I was eating, and the food was so fresh and so tasty. And I think that'll be a culture shock for Tin when she comes to the United States, is because we eat so differently than they do. We don't have access unless we have gardens. We don't have access to the freshness of the meat, the seafood, the chicken, and everything like that. So I think that's huge. Alan V's up in the house. Alan V. Maybe Preppy needs to come on and do a live stream because Preppy could probably really get the accent down now. Since it is Friday night, we're going to do some intermission. But Cherry Cherry Lady, this is one of the first songs Skipping 10 I heard her sing this and Only Love. And so let's listen to Cherry Cherry Lady.
Oh, I cannot explain. Every time it's the same. Oh, I feel that it's real. Take my heart. I've been lonely too long. Oh, I can't be so strong. Take a chance for romance. Take my heart. Sherry, Sherry lady, like there's no tomorrow. Take my heart, don't lose it. Listen to your heart. Sherry, Sherry lady, to know you is to love you. If you call me baby, I'll be always yours. La 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 la. I get up, I get down, all my world turns around. Who is right, who is wrong? I don't know. I've got pain in my heart, got a love in my soul. Easy come, but I think easy go. I need you so. All those times I'm not too strong. Sherry, Sherry lady, going through emotion. Love is where you find it. Listen to your heart. Sherry, Sherry lady, living in devotion. It's always like the first time. Let me take a part. Sherry, Sherry lady, like there's no tomorrow. Take my heart, don't lose it. Listen to your heart. Sherry, Sherry lady, to know you is to love you. If you call me baby, I'll be always yours.
Tonight, preppers are partying. Where's the clubbing? Who's going clubbing tonight on YouTube? Well, who's next? Who's up next? Who's up next? Y'all, I really appreciate you being here. And we'll be having another live stream soon. Hopefully, I won't be inside the circle. It's kind of confusing. I was lost up in here. But anyway, I really love y'all. I've missed the ones that haven't been able to make the live streams, but know that I was thinking about you. No, I wasn't. Bullshit. Quit lying. OTWP. Stop that. Everybody have a great night. And remember, don't forget, big, huge prepper hugs to everybody. Walk in love, light, hope, and faith. And remember, there's good things coming. There's good things coming. God bless y'all. From here in Colorado, Rocky Mountain High, baby.